My mom's second husband locked me out of her funeral, saying I didn't belong. The lawyer handed me her final request. It had only my name. Robert had been counting down the days since mom died. He actually bought champagne the night before the funeral, telling his drinking buddies he was finally free of his gold-digging stepdaughter. I should have seen this coming. The signs were everywhere once I looked back. Like how he started changing the locks on mom's house the day after her diagnosis. Security purposes, he'd said with that fake smile. Or how he suddenly became her primary emergency contact at the hospital, pushing me out of every medical decision. The worst part was watching him play the grieving husband. He hired the most expensive funeral home in town, not out of love, but because he wanted everyone to see how generous he was with what he thought would soon be his money. He even had custom programs printed with only his name listed as surviving family. At the church, he stationed his brother at the door like a bouncer. Family only. George smirked as I approached in my black dress. And you're not family anymore. That's my mother in there, I whispered, trying to push past. Was your mother? Robert appeared behind George, straightening his designer tie. And frankly, Julia, she was tired of your constant calls asking for money. She told me herself she wished she'd never taken you in. I felt like I'd been slapped. Other mourners walked past, giving me pitying looks as I stood there in the parking lot like some unwelcome stranger. I watched my own mother's funeral through a window. Robert sat front row, dabbing fake tears while texting his girlfriend about vacation plans. Yes, I knew about Sandra from his country club. Mom didn't, but I'd seen them together at restaurants across town. During the service, Robert delivered this elaborate eulogy about their perfect love story and how Catherine had finally found happiness after years of struggle. Everyone nodded sympathetically, not knowing he was talking about the years she spent raising me as a single mom before meeting him. After the burial, Robert made a big show of accepting condolences. It's just me now, he kept saying. Catherine's daughter lives out of state. I was literally standing 20 feet away. The next 2 weeks were torture. Robert started moving his girlfriend's stuff into mom's house immediately. He threw away mom's photo albums, calling them clutter from her past life. He even had the nerve to post on Facebook about starting fresh and new beginnings. Meanwhile, I'm sleeping on my friend's couch, having given up my apartment 6 months earlier to help care for mom full-time during her cancer treatment. Robert knew this. He'd watched me quit my job to be her caregiver while he played golf every Tuesday. 2 weeks later, we're in the lawyer's office. Robert showed up 40 minutes late, strolling in like he owned the place. He brought George again for moral support, both of them reeking of the expensive steakhouse they'd just come from. Sorry we're late, Robert said, not sounding sorry at all. Had to celebrate my wife's memory with a proper meal. He winked at George like they shared some inside joke. The lawyer, Mr. Peterson, looked uncomfortable as Robert spread out across 2 chairs, legs wide, taking up as much space as possible. Robert's practically bouncing in his chair, wearing a new Rolex. Just sign everything over to me, he tells Mr. Peterson. I was her real family. Julia here abandoned Catherine years ago, only showed up when she got sick. I opened my mouth to protest, but Robert cut me off. Tell him, Julia, tell him how you haven't had a real job in months, how you've been living off Catherine's generosity like a parasite. The lawyer pulls out an envelope. Actually, your wife left very specific instructions. He slides it across the table. Robert's face goes white as he reads. It's mom's handwritten note. To my daughter Julia. Robert doesn't know I caught him stealing from my jewelry box last Christmas. The house, my savings, everything goes to you. He gets nothing. The lawyer continues. She also asked me to tell you about the hidden camera footage from your bedroom. Robert, should we discuss that now or in court? Robert bolted without another word. Mom always said the best revenge is letting people reveal who they really are.